better have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
How's it going, guys? I'm Andrew.
I'm Chris.
And welcome back to Ballers Basement.
Welcome back.
Now today we're here to talk about the NBA Finals. Game 3 happened at Cleveland. And we're just going to tell you guys what we saw, our perspective on the game, and what we think is going to happen in this series from this point forward, and what needs to happen for each team to be successful. So Chris, why don't you start it off?
Well, what I saw in Game 3 was just LeBron and Kyrie versus the world. Golden State is just an incredible team right now. They have the team chemistry, they have the talent, they have the shooting ability. I don't think any team in history has been able to shoot this well from this far. They're pretty much like a 2K cheat code at this point. And LeBron and Kyrie, they was pretty much doing the best they can, and it wasn't enough. It was enough until about the fourth quarter with about 2.5 minutes left, when Golden State just started their 11-0 run to end the game. And I actually think that it's pretty much over. I think that Game 3 was a do or die game for Cleveland. I think that Cleveland needed to win that game in order to at least have a chance to win the series. But at this point, I'm really not sure if they can do it. Nobody's ever done it before. I mean, I don't put it past LeBron to be able to do something like that. But against this team, I'm really not optimistic towards that. So, I mean, I picked Cleveland to win in 7, but it's looking like it's going to be a sweep or in 5.
I agree with you, Chris. After seeing how the series has played out so far, I said in the last video, if Cleveland goes down 3-0, I believe that the series is over. This isn't the same Golden State Warriors team that, they played last year. Kevin Durant makes all the difference in the world. He's arguably the second best player in the world, an MVP, and he has the heart of a champion. I mean, as he showed last night, making huge shots down the stretch. There was one play in particular that stood out to me. It was about 1.25 minutes left in the fourth, and Curry was trying to make something happen for himself. He was doing his crossover moves, trying to dance, trying to get open for a 3. Kyrie was stuck to him like glue, and he was like, you know what? What am I doing? He just threw it to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant chopped him up, went right to the hole. I was like, wow. They couldn't do that last year. They didn't have a guy.
Harrison Barnes is way different than Kevin Durant.
Curry was like, what am I doing? This is a waste. Kevin, do you mind? He's like, no, of course. Here, yeah, give it to me. Really, he is ideal for playoff situations where the game slows down, it's tight, it's close, and he could get a basket at will. There's very few people in the league that could actually bother him with their defensive prowess.
And I think that because their team is so offensively talented, I think that they don't have to exert themselves as much as LeBron did after the first half. You can see he wasn't, attacking the rim as much as that he should have been. Because, maybe he was a little, tired. Maybe he was feeling a little fatigued from attacking the rim so much in the first. Kyrie didn't really do so much in the first, so he can do a lot more in the second. But in Golden State, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Draymond, they're all pretty much, sharing the love on that team, where that nobody's really doing a lot, so that they're just by the fourth quarter, they can just, kick it into another gear. And I don't think Cleveland has that right now.
And LeBron James was obviously exhausted. When LeBron drove to the rim over 100 times during this game. That's an actual fact. LeBron sat down for only 2 minutes during this game, and when he sat down, the Warriors went on a huge run. I mean, it's like
like 12 points. It
like
was insane.
it's like, you know, the team is abysmal when he leaves the floor. They're horrible. It's not like they're like, oh, we can stay afloat, we can hold the lead, or, you know, we could try to stay competitive. They get blown off. You know, they get blown off the court half the time when LeBron sits. So it's a tough position. And like you said,
plus minus of over 15 when he's off the floor, which is pretty bad.
And like you said,
that's saying a lot.
You know, LeBron, when he's on the floor, he is the offense. He is the playmaker. You know, he makes the Cavs go. But the Warriors, they move the ball. They share the ball. They're all amazing, you know, greatest of all time level shooters. You know what I mean? Like, they're high caliber shooters, like in terms of a greater scale, like in NBA history. So, you know, and you have a guy in Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Stephen Curry, who all are pretty amazing playmakers in their own right. But when you have the Cavs, you know, the only true playmaker out there that's making things happen in this finals is LeBron James. Sure, Kyrie could play make to an extent, but he kind of play makes off of shot creation, if that makes sense. He'll try to break his defender down, try to, you know, go for his own, but if someone else is open, he hits them. But LeBron is the only person who could go out there and set people up. LeBron is, to me, still
like the better passer on that team.
Oh, by far.
Granted, LeBron Williams in his prime, he could have, you know, done a little something, but now he hasn't been playing good at all.
Yeah, you know, so I felt that
I don't think nobody else can really compete on that team in terms of playmaking with LeBron.
I mean, I felt that in Game 3, the role players showed up a little more. J.R. Smith had a much better game.
Definitely.
But, you know,
he had a much better game, but he definitely did a little too much. He tried a little too much. He's taking a lot of wild shots and stuff. Granted, those are his usual type of shots, but, I mean, those were completely unnecessary, and they actually kind of messed up the flow that Cleveland had going.
Yeah, and I mean, but then again, when you have a Tristan Thompson playing 23 minutes, no points, and only 3 rebounds, you know, and then you have Stephen Curry on the opposition with 13 rebounds, it is really tough to win, especially against this Golden State team where the margin of error is 0.
Yeah, you know? I think that Cleveland needs to just trade Tristan Thompson at this point. He doesn't have a double-double in terms of points and rebounds for the finals between all 3 games, and that's a real big problem.
And guys, we're gonna make videos on, you know, win or lose the Cavaliers, what they need to do in the offseason, and the Warriors, what they need to do in the offseason. But I mean, as of right now, Tristan's underperforming. He's who the Cavs have, and you know, he needs to produce a lot better than that in order to give them a better shot at winning the game. And I mean, the game was in control of the Cavs until the last minute and 50 seconds, honestly. You know, and I think it was exhaustion that did the Cavs in. The Warriors were just wearing them down. There was a possession where, you know, Kevin Durant had the ball. I think Iguodala or Draymond Green set a screen for him. LeBron went under the screen. Kevin Love didn't really pick up on Kevin Durant, and he bombed the easy 3. You know, plays like that where you just give up points is what hurt them.
Even the last go ahead bucket by Kevin Durant, where LeBron didn't play to he didn't, you know, play up on the shot at all. And if he would have played up on the shot, you know, Golden State might have went for 2. And if they'd have went for 2 and made it, then that's still a tie game. You know, that's overtime. You still have more time to play basketball, more time to you know, get refocused. But I mean, the way they were playing, they didn't look like they wanted to win towards the end, and you know, that's a problem.
And you
gotta
know,
step up.
Another thing is when Kyrie had that possession where I think they were up by 2 or down by 2. I don't remember, but he pretty much tried to do a fadeaway 3 on Kevin Durant, ended up getting blocked.
He tried to do what he did in Game 7
last
year.
Yeah, you know, I was just like, it was super unnecessary. I mean, he could have tried to blow by him, set up other people. I just thought that the shot was ill-advised and extremely difficult when the game didn't really call for it. I mean, they weren't down big. I mean, he could have drove to the rim, got a foul, got an and one, passed it out. He had Kyle Korver on the floor at that time, J.R. Smith, Kevin Love. I mean, there was a lot of options. and I just feel like that was an
have one of
ill-advised.
the greatest players of all time in
LeBron James
But
on the floor.
In my opinion, he should have had the ball in his hands towards the end. Granted, Kyrie is usually the closer for the Cavs, but down by 1 or down by 2, I think you give it to LeBron and let him take it to the rim. You know, maybe he get a foul call, maybe he makes it and one. You know, at least he can ice the game like that. But I don't think that Kyrie Irving was going to, you know, try to recreate what he did in Game 7 and it actually work out for him. I just didn't believe that was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, the Cavs played all right down the stretch, but I feel like they collapsed when the Warriors went on an 11-0 run in the last minute, 50 seconds. You know, and the Warriors are that dangerous of a team where, you know, you have the game in control, you're up 10 and you feel good, and then a minute later, you're in a deficit, you know, so you have to be on your P's and Q's offensively, defensively, and so far in this series, you know, I feel like the Cavs have progressed every game and gotten better, but it just hasn't been enough. Even when they play their best basketball, like LeBron James said in his post-game conference, you need to be A++ to beat the Golden State Warriors because they're just that much of an offensive juggernaut to go against. I mean, when it comes to the Warriors, kudos to them. If they're gonna win this series, keep doing what you're doing. They have great poise, great composure. They just stick to their culture and they stick to the way that they play basketball, and they don't falter from that. And that's what's led them to such great success. Not to mention their great defense, team defense, and communication that they've been displaying on the floor and their ball movement as well. And they don't really look uncomfortable. They haven't been forcing shots. They haven't been doing anything extra. You know, they've just been sticking to their game
They look
plan.
completely comfortable. They look like they're just at home playing a regular game of pickup.
And
They're having fun out there. And
Yeah.
And for Cleveland, they're really struggling. They're really trying their hardest. And for Golden State, they're barely trying, and that says a lot to how the games are ending.
Yeah, and I don't.
2 of the 3 ended in blowouts,
Exactly.
and I feel like, you know, for Cleveland, they tried their best in Game 3, and they still lost to, pretty much, you know, a minute before the game was over. The game was pretty much over. You can tell that they wasn't coming back.
And you can tell the weight of the game when you're watching. You're like, if they lose this game, that's a series. I mean, honestly, with Kevin Durant and with this team and their offensive power, it is extremely hard to fathom the Cavs going on and winning 4 straight when they've yet to win in Oracle. They got blown out the games that they did play in Oracle, and they got beat on their home court. It's very hard to imagine. But I feel that, you know, for the Cavs, it is. I would say, from what I've seen, it's probably going to be over in 4 or 5. They might get a game, but I guess they just have to take it.
Optimistically 5, but it's looking like 4, to be completely honest.
You know, yeah, I think they might. They just have to take it one game at a time. Game plan, give it their all, go out swinging and screaming, which I'm sure they will. But this Warriors team is definitely an offensive juggernaut, like LeBron James said. I don't know if the reason the Cavs have been unsuccessful is because, well, I mean, obviously it's because they have 4 All-Stars, 2 of them being MVPs, and 1 being a Defensive Player of the Year candidate who's probably going to win this year. I mean, they have a stacked team, but I don't know if it's like strictly personnel reasons or a lack of effort, or, I mean, it's obviously a lack of defense, because it's like you're not going to be...
it's the lack of their bench. Their bench definitely didn't step up the way I thought they were, the way they have, you know, in previous games, and, you know, against even Boston last series, you know, they actually stepped up pretty well. And against, you know, Golden State, they haven't been able to get anything going, and that's, to me, that's just kudos to Golden State, because Golden State pretty much neutralized their bench.
Yeah, and honestly,
I think that you know, that really is a problem for Cleveland.
And honestly, I mean, seeing this series, Golden State without a doubt is an amazing team, amazing all-time great offensive team. But with the Cavs roster, looking at it, you know, I mean, they didn't have the best regular season, but seeing their run through the Eastern Conference, and I know the competition is not Golden State, I'm aware of that, but this task for the Cavaliers, even after I've seen what Golden State's capable of, was a doable task. Very hard, very difficult, but possible. You know, but it was going to take everything and everyone. You know, and that's just not what happened. You have Tristan Thompson getting 0 points game 1, 8 points game 2, 0 points game 3. You know, 3 boards here, 2 boards here.
what is it, 11 rebounds?
If that, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a grand total of 11 rebounds. And Steph Curry outdone him in one game.
Yeah, he had 13 last game. Game 3.
That's an issue.
So honestly, it's my final remarks are Golden State playing phenomenal, great composure, great ball movement, just great defensive communication. The Cavs, I felt like last game was their real shot at making this a series and hanging in there, but it's gonna be tough, guys. I don't know. I would say take it a game at a time, see what happens, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was in 4 or 5.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either. But final remarks for me, pretty much I'm gonna say that it's looking real dim in terms of Cleveland being able to pull this one out. They pulled it out last year off of a 3-1, but this is 3-0. This is another
with the Kevin Durant
animal. With the Kevin Durant instead of a Harrison Barnes. So I mean, it's doable. I'm not gonna say it's not doable. It's impossible, but I really do not see it happening. So at this point, I'm just gonna say congratulations to Golden State Warriors fans.
I'm not gonna say that till the game's over. My prediction was Cavs in 7. You never know. I'm playing. Yeah, congratulations to how you guys have played.
Said it.
Congratulations to how they've played thus far, but they know that it's not done until it's done.
Yeah, it's not over. I mean, for Golden State, I know they can't take their foot off the gas. They can't be lackadaisical on defense and not play with the same intensity that they've played in the last 3 games, or else it might just happen. So if they come into the game, on their toes, they come into the game ready for what Cleveland throws at them in the same way they have been doing, then they'll probably take game 4 or maybe game 5.
And if they deal with adversity as well as they did in game 3, they're on the right track. So
yeah, it's definitely going to be a problem for the league for years to come.
Definitely. Great core, young core, talented core, amazing shooters, amazing defenders. It's a great team. But I think that about wraps it up, guys. So be sure to rate the video, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you guys think about game 3 and how many games you think this series is going to last, how much longer. And I think that's about it. Anything else you have to say, Chris?
No, that's it.
Alright, guys. Peace.
Peace.